Do you want to traditionally publish but also have some control over your cover? My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. It is true that when you go through traditional publishing, you give up some form of creative control or some measure of creative control, usually not a ton with regards to what is actually in the book. That is going to remain yours. That is going to be your voice in your story, and that is what is going to be authentic and that feel resonant with audiences in the most effective way. But sometimes in other places, you are going to give up creative control. Most notably, people complain about titles, covers, release dates, marketing, copy, things of that nature, in which the the dingbats and the art that goes inside, like those decisions are made with an eye towards marketing and overall cost cutting. But that does not mean that every single author surrenders all decisions in those areas forever and always. So if you are like this commenter and say, I can't imagine giving up the book cover to someone else, there is a possibility that you could negotiate to have significant and meaningful input when it comes to cover design. Now, unless you are a graphic designer or a marketing person by trade, like you know marketing and visual arts very, very well, I would caution against this, because just because you think something looks cool does not mean it is actually going to sell your book well or represent your book appropriately. But if you do have a little bit of training in those areas, or you do know some of those things, you might be able to bring that to the publisher and say, hey, I'm a graphic designer by trade and I have worked in marketing in this space for the last 10 years. So I would like to have meaningful impact or meaningful input on my book cover. And your literary agent should be able to negotiate that into the contract. Now, what does meaningful input look like? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a nebulous term, but your literary agent will be able to help enforce that meaningful input. They will make sure that you are involved in those conversations from the beginning and at the appropriate stages, and then they will make sure that those conversations have you and the agent looped in the entire time, that you're not kept in the dark. This isn't a guarantee. It's not a thing that everybody is going to be able to do, and it's not a thing that even everybody wants to do. But if this is the only thing standing between you and traditional publishing, and you love everything else about the idea of traditional publishing, but it's just like, oh, I don't want to let go of my cover completely, there are some ways that you can address that, particularly if you have training in those areas in which you can be meaningfully helpful.